Okay, this is Sean. I'm here with Brady Pasola, and he's going to talk to us about the course he's proposing to teach on land navigation. Brady, what are you thinking?
Hey guys, how you doing? So let's talk a little bit about land navigation. Why do we need to know about navigation? Well, it's been used throughout history to get anywhere we need to go. And in this case, for a survival scenario, either urban disaster or wilderness survival, we need to know how to get out of the woods alive or how to get out of an urban environment alive. Navigation is simply the ability to read the environment and navigate your way to safety. Let's say a buddy's house, for instance, on the other side of town. We need to know which way is north, south, east, and west, and we need to know which direction our buddy is in. Navigation is just as such from getting from point A to point B across a distance of terrain, regardless of climate, topographic area, or geographical area to get to that location. There are certain tools that we use to get to that location, or there's simple ways that we can use, or tricks, or sort of hacks, if you will, to get to that location using the sun, using the stars, map, compass, or good old terrain features.
Okay, and so you teach this as a part of, because you're the San Diego School of Survival, that's what you founded. So you actually already teach this to your clients, correct?
Yes, I'm the founder of San Diego School of Survival. With that, I teach land navigation, human tracking, and wilderness survival. Although land navigation actually is one of the more popular courses out here because many people want to know how to navigate and negotiate terrain accurately and with minimal effort possible.
Cool. Yeah, so this is a pretty important one, as we're saying, escaping the threatening situation is the whole point of survival. So this is kind of a core foundational training, and this is definitely one that we want to see come to reality. So, um, if people have questions, is it okay if they get a hold of you in the comments?
If you have questions about survival, you're more than welcome to contact me. Now, I ponder this question to any one of you guys watching the video out there. And I want you to give me an answer and why you think your answer is the right one. If you were to be dropped in the middle of nowhere, blindfolded per se, right? So if you were blindfolded, dropped out of a helicopter in the middle of nowhere, and given a choice of either map or compass, you can't have both. You can only choose one, map or compass. Which would you choose, and why?
So if it were me, I would probably say compass, just because you could know you're always going a consistent direction and not like walking around in circles. But at the same time, I don't know. Maybe the map would be the thing to have, because at least then you know where. Well, but you have to be able to orient yourself on the map, though. So I guess I'm assuming you're going to teach us how to do that, to place ourselves on a map.
Absolutely. Again, I'm not going to give you the answer until we get to the video, but many people would choose compass, but you have to ask yourself, if you have a compass and you know what direction you're in, are you still lost in that direction? Do you know what's in that direction? Is there safety? Is there water? Is there food? Is there a road? A compass doesn't tell you that. It just tells you what direction you're still fucked in.
Okay, well, Brady's going to teach us how to get unfucked in the wilderness, and this is through land navigation. Is there any tips you have for us? I know you mentioned something when we chatted the other day that sounded pretty interesting, but any quick little tips or hacks you can share right now on land navigation for the folks watching?
Absolutely. As we were talking about the other day, when it comes to land navigation, it's important that you're able to articulate certain types of terrain features, whether it's to yourself, to your buddy, finding your location, or doing a hunting trip, or even a search and rescue. We use this type of articulation in the military as well to explain where we're going to hit the enemy, where the enemy is at versus our location. And the certain type of terms that we use have to do with the terrain features, major, minor terrain features. So what helps us remember some of these terrain features is the ability to use your fist. Your fist is actually can be a guide for those terrain features. So one of the main terrain features is something like a hill. A hill could be used to describe the top of your knuckle or a peak, top of anywhere on a map, right? And so when you use your map, you can identify these terrain features. I'm also looking at a map using your fist as well. So when you got three hills or two hills in a row, you have yourself a ridge line. Now, we want to look for a saddle. The saddle is the area between the hill on the ridge line right here. Now, some people will look at a ridge line and they see something called a spur. In the military, we call it a finger. Proper term is actually called a spur. A spur comes down the mountain from the top of the hill. Now, if you look in between spurs on a map, you can see that there's also a draw. I like to call spur down, draw up. These are also the areas you're more than likely to find water because water, when it rains or there's moisture in the ground, tends to drift inside these draws and create small streams and things like that. So be wary of that when you're thirsty out in the woods. On the inside of my hand, which I can't really show you, but on the inside here, we can also create something inside our hand. We're looking for depressions and we're also looking for valleys. Now, on the other side of my hand here, another terrain feature is something called a cliff. And now on your maps, a cliff is often represented by topo lines coming together at a certain point, creating a drop off. As you know, the closer the topo, the contour lines, the closer the contour lines become, the actually more steep the terrain is on the map.
Cool. So there you have some quick tips from Brady on how to use your fists and determine terrain features. For anyone watching, if you want to see this training become a reality, you can go on the right there and see your options for pledging. So any questions for Brady, leave him a comment here on this page. Otherwise, we hope to see you soon. Thanks, Brady.
Thank you.